What's going on, everybody, man? Greetings and salutations. Feel me? Definitely want to talk about this Conor McGregor fight we had last weekend. October 6th was a crazy fight. The ending was super crazy. The main event, definitely good. The co-main event was good. Pretty much every fight on that card, man, was something to look at, man. If you missed it, sorry to say you missed a good event, man. UFC 229 was definitely something to look at. Probably the biggest fight in UFC history, if not one of the biggest fights in UFC history. So definitely want to stay tuned. I got you on that, all right? Check me out.
Brooklyn, we go hard. We go hard. Brooklyn, we go hard. We go hard.
So as I stated, man, October 6th was the Conor McGregor Khabib fight for the UFC lightweight championship belt. And boy, was it a good match, man. Not gonna lie, I was definitely going for Conor McGregor, man. I'm a Conor McGregor fan. I'm not gonna, like I said, can't lie, man. Conor McGregor talks a lot of shit. A lot of shit. But does he back it up? Yes, he does, man. As you can tell by the man's record, Jose Aldo, done in one left hook. Finito. Eddie Alvarez, man. That's how he won his belt, man. That's how he won his second belt. Conor McGregor is nasty. He definitely he can fight. Don't let that bullshit boxing stunt he put on with Mayweather make you think he's motherfucker can't fight. If you never seen UFC, you watch only boxing. Yeah, that was a bullshit fight, man. But in the Octagon, he is a beast. Nate Diaz gave him the business on the first fight. He should have won the first fight, in my opinion, man. I feel like he didn't give Nate the proper respect that Nate deserved, because he just felt like Nate wasn't on his level, which I don't think Nate is on his level. But being that he's at a heavier weight class, I don't think Conor McGregor really put a lot of thought into how much that extra weight would have affected the match, man. As far as stamina, as far as is just hitting him. He even said it. He thought just hitting Nate Diaz. He was like, damn, I thought he would have went down. Like I gave him a lot of shots and he just ate it. So he didn't really calculate the amount of damage you have to put into Nate Diaz, man. But it's skill level as far as like who they fought. I'm not trying to play Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz is a good fighter. He's a great fighter. But skill wise, I don't think he's on Conor McGregor's level. Championship level as of right now. Can he take a beating? He could take a crazy. He can get jumped by 15 people and still come out looking, smiling, being all right. But can he win against Conor? He did the first time, crazy. But the second time, I felt like Conor fought him on a serious level, and as you can see, that didn't end well. But that's another story, man. On to this Conor McGregor and Khabib fight. That fight is definitely. I was so hyped for that match, man, because I felt like Conor McGregor been away for so long. Conor McGregor's been away for damn near almost 2 years, man, if not even longer. The last fight he had, which was out of the Octagon in the boxing ring, which was against Mayweather, as we all tuned into that as well. That was in August of 2017, man. It's been a while. I mean, you can't really expect the man to take that long of a break and then come back and then get right back to what he was doing. I didn't expect that. Would I like to see it? Of course I would have liked to see it, man. I'm a fan of Conor McGregor's, but I didn't expect the man to come back into the ring and get back to what he was doing before he left. I just didn't see it happening. So I wanted Conor McGregor to win, but I bet money on Khabib to win, because the man is 26-0, 27-0 right now. And he just can't. You can't do that, man. You can't be away from the ring. You can't be away from the Octagon for that long, and then come back and try and fight somebody that's a champion and undefeated. I didn't see it happening, man. Could he? Now, if he did do it, I swear to God, if Conor McGregor had beat Khabib and came back from that long of a break and he beat him, hands down, he would have went down in the history books as the best UFC fighter ever. Yeah, you got Demetrius Johnson, which cannot take away of anything what he done. Demetrius Johnson is nasty. I feel like he needs to either go to a new league, go to some other organization, or move up in weight, because his weight class he is dominating his weight class. I don't think anybody could beat Demetrius Johnson right now. Nobody. But back to Conor, if he was to beat Khabib for the lightweight championship when he came back, man, Saturday, he definitely would have went down as the greatest fighter in UFC history. You can say what you want about John Jones, say what you want about Anderson Silva, GSP, Joe St. Pierre. Yeah, yes, they are going down and as the greatest fighters of the UFC. But none of them has had two belts. Well, GSP just got his middleweight belt, but he didn't hold simultaneously two belts. No other person has held two belts besides Conor McGregor. No one has taken that long of a break and then come back and then taking away the belt. GSP just did that, but against Michael Bisping, I don't know. To me personally, I don't think Michael Bisping is that great of a fighter, but I mean he's champ. He was champ, so he did what he did. But if Conor McGregor was to pull that stunt off last night, hands down, he'd have been the greatest fighter. Nasty. But he couldn't do it, man. He has two belts, man. He has his featherweight and he had the light. He had to get those both up because he took too damn long outside the ring. But bullshit ass boxing took too long to get back. That money, man. That money fucks your mind up. But that's what he wanted to do, man. He wanted to sit there and party and drugs and vacations, whatever you want, man. That's what he did. But Khabib does what he does, man. Khabib is a wrestler. He's a grappler. And he worked Conor McGregor's ass out crazy on Saturday, man. First round, you can easily tell Conor was tired. Easily. But at the same time, I felt like Conor didn't really... That Conor we saw, it wasn't Conor McGregor what I saw 2 years ago. It wasn't that same hungry, bloodthirsty dude that came in the ring and just methodically broke you down and then seen open shots and hit you with that left. I didn't see that. Conor, he showed up, but was his mind in it? I don't think he was a full 100% in this fight, man. I don't think he was fully there mentally. Maybe he had some things going on in his head. Yo no sé. But I just personally think that Conor McGregor, either he was scared, the jitters, nervous, whatever you want to call it, man. It wasn't the same Conor that we used to seeing 2 years ago. He barely threw anything. He came in the ring. I would say a maximum of maybe 10 punches the entire fight. I don't think he threw over 10 punches. And if he did, fact check me, cool. He did, but how many landed? I highly doubt less than 10 punches landed on Khabib. Is that to say Khabib's defense is nasty? No, I just don't think Conor threw anything with great power. He was looking to counterpunch Khabib's hits, and Khabib didn't stand with him. So you can't counterpunch somebody that's not really throwing at you, throwing anything with you. Like I said, Khabib is a grappler. He's a wrestler. He took him down. He held him down, and he just tired him out. He worked him out, man. He worked him out badly, and he was not prepared for that. You can take as much as you want training. You can have. He even said it, man. He said he was grappling, wrestling with, world class wrestlers, man, Olympians. Just it wasn't enough, man. It wasn't enough. I don't think you can duplicate Khabib's wrestling and grappling abilities, man. I don't think you can duplicate that. There's a lot of fighters out there that you can prepare for. You can try to prepare for them. John Jones, you cannot emulate what that man does in the ring. You can't. He's so unorthodox with his elbows. He's so unorthodox with a lot of his shit. His kicks is weird. You can't prepare for that. Demetrius Johnson, you cannot. That is one guy you cannot prepare for. You cannot prepare for Demetrius Johnson. No matter who you fight, you can fight someone the same height as him. Not gonna work. You can fight someone as fast as him. It's not gonna work. You can fight someone that does crazy shit, crazy theatric moves. It's not gonna work. The only way you can get that type of experience is by fighting that person. So sticking to that point, if they would have a rematch between Conor McGregor and Khabib, I feel like the rematch is where Conor would be 100% in this fight, because what I saw on Saturday, it wasn't there. He wasn't there. He can say what he want, man. He can say, "Oh, I prepared as much as I can," which is what he will say. I trained, had a good camp. Cool, but mentally, were you there in the fight? I don't think so. I don't see it. First round, I was hyped. I stood up. I'm like, yeah, he about to be crazy, about to be knockouts. As soon as he took him down, I was like, I can see where this match is going. I can see Khabib is he's gonna tire him out, which is what he does. If you watch any 26 fights, that's what he does. He gets on top, tires you out, ground and pound, submissions is crazy. That's what he did to Conor, man. He got on top. If you watch what he did to his legs, how you had his legs in a triangle hold, so Conor couldn't really, he couldn't really get out of it. Perfect execution of the ground, of just holding him down, man. Yeah, he held him down pretty much like 3 minutes out of the first round. Held him down a lot. Second round, I feel like he tried to stand up a little bit. He tried to like gauge Conor's stamina, try to gauge where he's at as far as stand up. I try to gauge if he can try to take it to that level. And then I think he hit him. Conor hit him one good time. I think he was like, all right, I need to relax on his stand up shit. Let me get back to the game plan, which is take him down, wear him out, drain his stamina, and then get the submission. Cause he told us on many occasions he is going to make this man tap out. I think he said maybe one time I knock him out, yeah, but his main thing was Conor is a tapper. His whole camp is a tapper, and I will tap him out. And he delivered. He delivered on that promise. And that's crazy to me. But he did it, man. I cannot hate him. I don't hate Khabib. Khabib is a great fighter. There's no one in today's game right now that has 26 wins and no losses in the UFC. Outside of that, yeah, I'm sure there are. But in the UFC, no one has had 26 wins with no losses and is a champion. So Khabib is definitely someone you need to pay attention to. He's definitely a great fighter. Can't take that away from him at all. Much respect. But on that note of just Khabib just fucking up Conor McGregor, just made him so fatigued, man. He made him so tired that he just could not really get into that groove, man. He tried, like I say, he tried to get into this groove and just couldn't do it. Khabib caught him with a great right hand when he just came with the overhand. Boom. Knocked Conor McGregor straight on his chin. Dropped him. He was rocked. But he came up. He recovered. He definitely recovered a little bit. He came up, caught his composure. But once Khabib took him right back down, it's a wrap. He couldn't recover. If you looked at his face, Conor McGregor was looking at the time like all out of breath, like, God damn, bro, I need to get up out of here. It was crazy, man. It was wild. Just couldn't do it, man. I'm sorry, Conor. Sorry, bruh. Just couldn't do it, man. That neck crank is a hard move to get out of, man. Especially when you don't really have any backing, any way to get out of it. It's a hard move to get out of it, man. But once the referee called it, get off. Khabib held on a little bit longer. He held on for about 2 or 3 more seconds longer, man. And the referee had to, smack him a little bit. Had to pull him off, like, yo, you wildin'. Got him off. But then at the very end, man, very, very, very end of that, Khabib wilded out, man. He wilded out. Conor's camp. Somebody in Conor's camp talking a lot of shit. A lot of people think it was the fans, man. It wasn't the fans. I've rarely seen anybody just go out there and attack the fans like that. It wasn't a fan. It was somebody from Conor's camp talking a lot of shit to Khabib about, he said it. If you watch the post-fight press conference, he said exactly why he did it, man. That dude was talking a lot of shit about his family, about his religion, about just everything, man. He got tired of the shit, got tired of it, man. Just fucking ran out and wanted to get a man some hands, B. Fighters fight. That's what fighters do, man. Fighters fight. When you in the octagon, man, your temper is flaring, you're hot, your blood is boiling. So you want to release that anger. He just released that anger on Conor. He definitely did that shit. But he had some more. He had some more fuel to burn, man. So he ran out the crowd, tried to get that man some hands. But then on the flip side, Khabib's camp came in the ring. Couple, like 3 heads came in the ring. Tried to give Conor the business. Conor got hit up, man. But it's Conor, B. He ain't gonna take that lightly. So he hit him back. They released some photos, man. Some dude had a little lump on his eye from Conor from that one fucking punch that he took. But I mean, it is Conor is a swift jab, so I mean I feel it. But that whole story, man, that whole story was pretty much like just camps, man. Camps talking shit, man. It had nothing to do with the fans. The fans wasn't really involved in it like that. Yeah, they threw shit in the ring in the octagon. They threw shit at Khabib, just because that majority of the majority of the crowd was going for Conor. I'm pretty sure there was a lot of Irish people there, man. Even the fans after the fight, man. Even the fans after the fight that was in the building, man. They got into fights, just for the fans talking shit to each other, man. Khabib sucks, Conor sucks. Fuck you, man. Alright, they got into scraps, man. But Khabib pretty much said, man, like I said, he wasn't the dude. The dude was just talking too much shit, man. He wanted to go out there and handle his business. And then the three people that got, I think maybe one or two of them were actually UFC fighters. I'm not 100% sure, but according to what Dana said that if they are, he didn't know any of the names, but he said if any of those three people that got arrested were UFC fighters, they are no longer fighting in the UFC, and that's pretty big. Now you fucking up your money, fucking up the bag. So you wanna hold down sets, you wanna protect your fighters, protect your brothers, your friends. That's cool, but when you fucking up your bag, that's crazy, because now you got to go out to another organization, to another fighting joint. If that's what you want to keep fighting, cool. Now you got to go to another fighting organization and try and get them to get you a job, man, instead of just being cool in the UFC. And the UFC is top dog. UFC is top dog right now. But I heard there's a lot of talk about speculations. Is he the champ? Is Khabib still the champ? Because they didn't give him the ring, they didn't give him the belt inside the ring. But the whole deal with that was Dana was just saying that I'm not putting the belt on you inside the ring, because in fear of the fans throwing shit, in the octagon. He didn't want nobody to get hit, no one to get hurt, the security to get hurt, the media to get hurt, the announcers. He didn't want nobody to get hurt, so he just said, just go in the back. I'll give you your belt, after that. Habib wasn't hearing that. He's like, yo, give me my belt now, my man. I want to be crowned. I don't care. I'll go to jail, whatever. I want my belt to be wrapped around me. And I'm not putting people at risk, man. That you want that, cool. But the 70 other thousand people that's here, I'm not putting them at risk, man. That's stupid. Why would I do that? So I understand Dana away from that aspect. Sent him in the back. He got, some shit thrown on him. That's, respect. You expect that from the fans. But the three people that got arrested, it was up to McGregor to press charges, and then for them to get extra fines and everything like that. But being a G, Conor was like, nah, man, no, it happens. Don't press no charges, so they let them free, which is cool. I respect Conor for that. That's cool, because a lot of fighters out there, a lot of people out there would be like, nah, fuck that. They hit me from the back. Nah, press charges. Now you gotta go through the whole, legal actions, everything like that. Conor was just like, nah, man, I don't care about that. I don't care about that, man. All I care about is that I lost and I want the rematch. Immediately after he lost, he went in the back. You take your losses, man. But he went on Twitter and what he did on Twitter, he said, good knock, can't wait for the rematch. Quote, unquote. He ain't say, nah, fuck this, man. This dude is a cheater. He had people jump me. He ain't say nothing like that, man. He didn't say, oh, y'all pussies. None of that. Good knock. Can't wait for the rematch. And that's real. You got to respect that, man. Dana said, depending on, it's not up to the UFC. It's up to the state of Nevada. It's up to the Nevada organization, man. However they got that legal shit out there, man. The governor was there. And he said the governor had to run out for his life in fear of his life. That sounded a little soft to me. I don't even know how close the governor was to all this action. When you running out for your life, ain't nobody there for you, man. What are you doing? But if the governor had to run out and he was there and he's over, the legal action that's going on with that whole case, that might be a bad look on Khabib, for real, man. It might be a bad look for sure, because it's all up to him on how that goes. It could be a crazy suspension, could be a fine, could be stripped of his belt, could be whatever, man. But Dana said it's not up to him. He's not stripping him of his belt. He's not doing that. But depending on how long, if he is suspended, depending on how long of the suspension, if it's a year, if it's 9 months, if it's a year and a half, you gotta take away the belt, man. You gotta get the class the weight class got to move on. Fighting has to move on. They can't just sit there and wait and, crown an interim champ and then wait, 9, 10, 11, 12 months for you to get off your probation to come back into the UFC, and then we could have the belt. Nah, man, you got to keep the class moving. Got to keep that going up. So that's where that stands at, man. Tony Ferguson, which was the co-main event that fought Anthony Pettis, he's up to fight either one of them. He's up to fight either Conor. He's up to fight either Khabib for the belt. So he said, "I'll put up my belt, man." He'll put up a belt. So somebody gonna be a 2-time champ. So if he fights Khabib, if he fights Conor, which he says he wants Conor, just because Conor talks so much shit, he wants to knock his ass out. But he definitely wants Khabib. Of course, you get the belt, much more respect, and you 2-time champion, much more money. Crazy, that's going on in history. It's going on in your legacy. So I mean, he wants to prepare himself for that for sure. I can't hate the man for that. Tony Ferguson is a great fighter. If you watch that co-main event, he got rocked twice, and he still came out of adversity, man. And he never really got rocked like that. Never really seen Tony Ferguson get hit up that bad where he was just like, oh shit, I'm stumbling. But he came back at my adversity, man. The only reason I had to stop that fight, Anthony Pettis had a crazy dash on his head from a swift elbow, dashed the shit open, a lot of blood everywhere. And when he swung at Tony Ferguson with an overhand, he hit him, yeah, but he ended up breaking his wrist and then breaking his hand. So Anthony Pettis, if you know Anthony Pettis, man, I've been watching Anthony Pettis since when he's on WEC, man. When he had the special on MTV, what was that? That special was called like In the Life or something like that, where they follow somebody and they give them a whole documentary on their life. I've been on Anthony Pettis for a while, man. Pause, but he's not a quitter. He is not a quitter at all. So I don't think he said, "Nah, I can't fight. I don't want to go." I think it really came down to his camp and just the protection of their fighter. They was like, "Yo, man, call the fight. You broke your hand. You got a big gash. Blood's coming on your face and your eyes. You can't see, so you can't really defend yourself. I don't want you going out there just swinging crazy. You could damage your hand even more. Why do that, man? You feel me? So definitely shout out to them because they protected their fighters. How many times have you seen UFC fighters go out there and they know themselves they can't stand up, they can't fight. They camp knows, their corner knows, but they just like, yo, fuck it, man. You go out there and put it inside you, man, tuck it in and keep going. And they get fucked up. And they be like, oh, shit, man, damn, I should have called the fight. So they took it upon themselves to be like, the best suitable option is to take this L, recover, and if need be, take a fight to prepare yourself for another championship fight, or when you get back to 100%, you fight for the belt again, man. And he wasn't even that mad about it, man. I went on his Instagram and he thanked Tony Ferguson for giving him a great fight, and it was sad that it had to end that way, man. So check it out, man. If you could find a way to watch that whole event again, I've seen it. It's probably on YouTube somewhere, man. But I know it's somewhere on the internet. Somebody pieced it up together, man. Watch those two fights for sure. Those were definitely two fights you don't want to miss if you're a UFC head, if you're an MMA fan, if you're a fighter fan, man. Check those two fights out for sure. And if you know me, man, you know I'm a John Jones fan, dog. John Jones is my guy, my top fighter right now, my number one, my ace Boone Coon. I fuck with John Jones heavy, man. And being that he's able to come back this month, October, it's crazy. He's not. There's a fight in October in New York, actually, and he's not. There's no main event yet, and he's not on that card. Dana White said he's not on this card. But I read and watched the video today of bum-ass Daniel Cormier. He said he got 2 more fights left. One with Brock, and the last one is the trilogy fight with John Jones. Give it up. Boy, am I happy to see this fight, man. I'm happy to see this fight because I know Daniel Cormier cannot beat John Jones hand to hand. He calls him a cheater. He calls him a whatever. He calls him everything in the book, man. A crybaby, a rat, a tattletale. He cries so much. Daniel Cormier just cries about John Jones, man. And you can't do it. You've had 2 chances. You cannot beat John Jones. John Jones is undefeated in the UFC. I think he has 1 or 2 losses. I think the one was from Daniel Cormier. If they count that on his record, I'm not sure. But the other loss is not really a loss by defeat. Nobody really beat John Jones. He lost because of disqualification. But as far as like somebody giving this man the hands, knocking him out, submission, whatever, it has not happened. So, being that Daniel Cormier is stepping up in the weight to fight Brock Lesnar at heavyweight, which is like 225, he's gonna step up 225 to fight him out over there. Daniel Cormier's a fat ass dude anyway, so I mean, it should be easy for him to fucking put on weight, or he just maintains that weight anyway. So he's gonna step out to fight Brock, which he should win that. I mean, Brock is not really a good fighter. He has size, crazy size. He has weight. He has hands. He can wrestle, but he cannot take hits. Brock Lesnar has a glass jaw. He cannot take. Once he gets hit, he's rattled. He's scared. His whole fucking white people, his face turns red. Nah, he cannot take a hit. So if Daniel Cormier hits this man with a jab, a hook, uppercut, he's gonna drop. But he did say after that fight, after that, he's focusing on the Brock Lesnar fight. After that fight, he will fight John Jones for the trilogy. Now, being that he had to step up, depends on how long the wait is, being that he has to step up to heavyweight, he's going to have to relinquish his belt. They're going to have to take it away from him. So, John Jones is supposed to fight Gustafsson. Gustafsson is nice too. That's the only dude that came really close to beating John Jones. That was a good fight. They're going to have to relinquish that belt. And I guess whoever wins that fight between John Jones and Gustafsson, they're going to be the champ. It all depends on Dana White, man. If he wants to take away Cormier's belt, which I mean, I don't like Cormier, but take away his belt because he didn't, he's having a other fight of the weight class. I don't think they should do it, but the weight class moves on, man. The fight must go on, you feel me? So if they feel like they're going to take it away, I guess they got to do that what they got to do. But the rightful owner, the rightful champion of the light heavyweight belt, it's not Daniel Cormier, man. I don't care I don't care. Daniel Cormier has won a lot of his fights, man. He is a good fighter. Is he great? Is he John Jones great? Nah. Y'all can say what y'all want. I still think it's a setup, man. I still think it's a setup. John Jones should not be where he's at right now, man. It doesn't make sense. If you think about it, man, it does not make sense for him to pass every single random drug test. He passed every single random drug test. Check the facts, man. Every one he passed. The one that he knew about after the fight, which if I know I got to take a drug test after the fight, why would I take drugs? If you passed every random drug test, but you failed the one drug test after the fight, which you know is going to happen, why would you pop on that? I mean, you feel me? Like, I think it's a setup, man. Why would they set John Jones up? I feel like they just don't like John Jones, man. But it doesn't make sense for you to pass every random drug test and then to fail the one that you do know about. That's like at your job, you work. They have random drug tests, school. For you to pass every single one, and then they be like, hey, on Monday, be like, drug test. And on Friday, it was a random drug test. You happen to pass on Friday. Monday, you fail. How? How do you fail it? You just passed a random one. That means you're fucking bullshitting. You're taking other people's piss. Which, if it's random, you don't have time to do that. Because it's like, hey, I showed up. Hey, you got a drug test. Pop. Go ahead. Pee. Let's get it popping. But the one that you knew about, you failed. That's crazy. I don't understand that. But you got dudes like Anderson Silva. He got popped for steroid use. He had like a couple months of suspension. Come on. Brock Lesnar, who is known, they let Brock Lesnar dope up for the fight that he had with Mark Hunt like 2 years ago or a year ago. How do you let someone takes their, like, I understand he hasn't been in the sport. He doesn't fight on a normal basis. Cool. But to let him take the drugs, man, come on, my G's. That's to let him take the drug. That's wild. And even Mark Hunt was like, yo, how you gonna let this man dope up to fight me? Like, what if he really injured me? He still went there and fought. He lost. I believe he lost. But that's crazy. Like, who does that? Ah, man. But anyway, man, I'm excited to see my boy John Jones back in there, man. I'm really excited to see him back in the Octagon. Hopefully he comes back. I feel like he should not get a title shot off the rip. He should fight somebody, Saint Preux, somebody again. Somebody at light heavyweight he should fight just to see where he's at, man. For him to come back and to get a title shot, that's kind of wild. But Gustafsson is a great contender. I feel like Gustafsson can do it. Him and Gustafsson been talking a lot of shit, on Twitter, on pretty much on Twitter, about each other, man. Him and Daniel Cormier talking a lot of shit on Twitter about each other. So that fight is always, whenever you say John Jones and you Daniel Cormier in the same sentence, is always gonna have a lot of controversy, man. A lot of heated arguments about that, and I cannot wait to see Daniel Cormier cry and lose. Mark my words on this video. I cannot wait to see John Jones beat Daniel Cormier, make him cry, make him give up his belt. He's gonna retire with 3 L's to John Jones for sure. Alright, peoples, man. That's all I got in the fight news, man. Check out my next video. I'm gonna do a review on Venom. I saw Venom this weekend. Check that video out. And then I'm gonna do another video on the music that came out on Friday, which I didn't hear much, man. Only thing I was really interested in was the Dave East and the Styles P. So check my next 2 videos out. Alright. Appreciate you for tuning in, man. It's your boy, Brooklyn Notes, man. Please stay tuned. Yeah.